Good morning. Today we're going to talk about Gideon. He was a man that God raised up to help the Israelites. The Israelites are God's chosen people. And the Israelites are a lot like us. They are focused on God, and then all of a sudden they see a squirrel. And then they're focused on God. Then all of a sudden they see a puppy. You know how your mother is trying to tell you something? She might hold your face and say, "Look at me in my eyes." It's because she wants you to pay attention, because it's very natural to squirrel, get off track. Well, this story is about one of the times that the Israelites were off track. It was 7 years that God was trying to get their attention. He was using the Midianites. This was another group of people. And they were oppressing, they were bullying, they were taking everything the Israelites had. They would come in, they would take their oxen and their sheep, they would take their crops, and they would leave. And so the Israelites didn't have very much. And one day, Gideon was in the threshing floor. He was working wheat. I have a picture. This is a picture of Gideon. Can't hardly see it. There you go. That's a picture of Gideon. That's a tool that you use when you're on the threshing floor. And here's another picture of Gideon. He's cutting the wheat. Wheat is something that you make bread out of. We all love bread. Lots of different kinds of bread. I used to make a sweet bread that was just delicious with butter on it. Oh, well, Gideon was working the wheat so they could make bread, and an angel came and told him what God had planned. This is the angel coming. The Bible says it's the angel of the Lord, and some believe that might be Jesus visiting before he was born. But remember, everything I tell you, you need to read in the Bible. This is in Judges, the 6th chapter and the 7th chapter, parts of it. So you read that. It tells you all about Gideon. I'm going to tell you a little piece of Gideon. This story was when the Midianites were oppressing the Israelites, and it was 7 years, and they were very, very hurt. They were starving, and the angel told Gideon that the Lord wanted to help him defeat the Midianites. Well, Gideon said, wait a minute, I'm not a very strong man. I'm very scared. And that brings us to our verse. Remember this verse: God helps me, I will not be afraid. Hebrews 13:6. You got to remember that sometimes when you get kind of frightened. I'm going to read you this story, okay? A group of people called Midianites was causing trouble for the Israelite people. The Midianites would steal their crops, that's their food. The Israelites prayed to God and asked him for help. One day Gideon was working with the wheat. An angel appeared to him. God is with you, the angel told Gideon. The angel told Gideon that God had chosen him to help his people from the Midianites. Gideon said he was not strong or powerful, but the angel told Gideon that God would be with him. God told Gideon what to do to choose the men for his army. After obeying God, Gideon had 300 men. He gave each man a trumpet, a torch. The light of each torch was hidden by a clay pitcher. that covered it. Gideon and his men surrounded the camp of the Midianites. It was late at night and very dark. Gideon and his men blew their trumpets and smashed the pitchers. They shouted, and the Midianites in the camp were confused. They began to fight with one another and run away. Gideon and his men followed them and defeated them. Gideon obeyed God and saved his people. Now, we sometimes do not obey God, and it's never good when you don't obey God. So we want to remember this verse. We will obey God. Joshua 24:24. Remember that. Now, these were pictures of the items that God said for Gideon to get to his people, his soldiers. This is a horn. It's a trumpet. Boop, you blow it. This is a torch. And funny thing, it shows light. And in England, they still call a flashlight a torch. But long time ago, this was a torch. And this is the clay pot that they put on top of the torch so you couldn't see the light. So they sneaked up on them. Now, you need to read about Gideon, and you need to read this story. And this is getting long, so I gotta go. I'm praying for you. You pray for me, okay? Take care. I love you. Bye-bye.